episode 21. It is later this time as I am recording on a Sunday. Was it like nearly 20 to 8? So, basically the reason for that is something happened like last Friday and it knocked me off. Something, I can't go into it yet because it's just, I don't think it's been properly sorted out yet, so I can't go into it just for purposes and that, but involved threats and bad people. That's all I'm going to say for now, and it knocked me off my block. I had to take a step back from everything, and then like on Tuesday when I would have normally recorded, just was out of it. Similar on Thursday, and I've only just kind of got myself back up. So yeah, but there's some stuff I'm not outside today in today's episode, but I think today's episode's just kind of just going along with the flow. Isn't really planned, as I'll show you now. Normally there'd be a list here, as you can kind of see there, of what's happening, but it just says episode 21 with nothing. So yeah, it's going to be random. But I'll get into it. So we'll start off with a story, something I've been thinking about today, which I want to talk on this anyways. 2023. Okay, I'm at college. Me and my mate, with my mate who got me into this. I don't speak to him anymore, but he's the one who got me to self-improvement. Now we're on break, right, from college. We're in the garage because I did mechanics at college, and we're on a break. Just been working the car and all that. So obviously we're out on a break, eating some food and all that, outside the garage, and we're just talking to each other about self-improvement, what we want to do, what we want to achieve, and dream and that. And then we got talking about what would life be like a year from now. So what would life be like in 2024, And we're going at it, I remember, especially me, I'm going to be so rich, I'm going to be so successful, I'm going to buy like so nice cars, and it's going to be so different from what we're doing now and all that. But wow, over 2 years later, and still broke, still chasing the goals, still chasing the dreams, still hoping for a lot more money. So I guess I kind of overestimated things, as you do in those situations. And I'm not saying you're going to fail if you just start self-improvement or whatever, or you want to start chasing dreams and all that. You could succeed in the year, everyone's story is different. But I'm just saying, focus on the present and don't overestimate yourself like I did. As honestly, I don't know when the turning point's going to be for me in my life. And I'm kind of tired of it, I'm just going along waiting. I don't feel good enough anymore, to be honest with you. I don't feel good at all. I've clearly lost my charm, I've lost my spark, my self-improvement. I'm less disciplined than what I am now. Proving now, look. So it's what, like I said, like 2028. See this year, look. This is my checklist, what I do on a daily basis. There's less stuff because obviously I'm building myself back up from what happened, but also because I have to focus on other stuff. But look, I've done 4 things. Like pretty much like half, under half. Normally I'd be done by now. First year in self-improvement I would have been done by now. Part of my second year, but within my first year I would have been done by now, and then last year would have been done. I used to get done by like 7, half 7. Now I get done like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. I've lost my block. I feel like I've took some steps back, just because of what's happened in life. Really, I've just in general over the year. So I remember making a video. I'll put it up because I can't remember what it says exactly, but I saw this video once on TikTok, and it was like, God made you struggle in 2024 so you can succeed in 2025, something like that. And that gave me hope. So I remember uploading about it, same thing. But for me, 2025 has gone exactly the same, if not worse, than 2024, which I don't get. Ironically, my life went to hell around this exact time last year. So things can repeat themselves. History has repeated itself, just a different way. I had big hopes. 2025. I remember at the start of the year, I'm like, something good's gonna happen. Something good's gonna happen. I know it, but it's not. Life can essentially got worse. I really don't get God, you know. And recently I left God and all because of what happened. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about it yet. You know, maybe in a later episode, but not today. So yeah, but I left God. You know, I stopped praying, stopped reading the Bible. There's a shelf to my right. I remember I just put both my Bibles and my notes up there and just left it. But then I came back to God, as you know you do if you are a true Christian, you know, or well, I try to be. I don't think I'm a good Christian, but you know, you just, well, how can I explain it? Well, if you've sent God or whatever, I don't know, like I've been Christian for 2 years. You know, if you leave him, you'll come back because you realise you can't live without him. You know, it's very hard to live without God in your life. You know, so yeah, I suppose every time I leave him, which I've done multiple times, I always come back, which is, I guess, it's a good thing. But that's another thing that happened. You know, I stopped praying, stopped reading the Bible, and I'm just like, prove your words, God, because reading the Bible, like Psalms and all that. I know it's Old Testament, so essentially Old Testament is kind of, it's not pointless, but it's like, doesn't apply because of the New Testament, if you know what I mean. But like, what these people did to me, like, they're my enemies, you know. And it says like, he will, you know, make your like enemies, like, he'll get revenge on them, he'll make them, you know, fall into their own traps and all that, and make them suffer by their own actions. But it's like, I'm like, God, it seems like you're protecting them. I remember that, because it does, you know. How they didn't get in trouble for what they've done yet, I don't know. But it just feels like God was protecting them, and I'm like, prove your words, man, please. Because I just feels like the Bible's a lie, but it's kind of doing that at the moment. I don't know, but came back to him, and yeah, you know, it's just this past week's been absolute hell, you know. And then again, as always, recently I'm struggling with my purpose. Just nothing never feels right. I mean, I started my book yesterday, like on like officially on my Google document and all that, like setting it up and everything. But you know, anything I do now just doesn't feel right. This podcast doesn't feel right. Writing doesn't feel right. Even though it's like lines to my skills and what I've learned in life, nothing feels right anymore, if you know what I mean. Nothing just, it feels like I'm just floating instead of swimming, if you get what I mean. You know, I put on my journal earlier. It's like, that's just how it feels at the moment. I'm just going along, and I don't know if what I'm doing is what I'm supposed to. I don't know if I'm going in the right direction. I don't know if I'm going somewhere good. You know, it's just, life just keeps beating me down, and it sucks, you know. I remember praying like, God, just don't make my life worse, please. I'm just tired of it. I was like, generally, I'm tired 24/7. Like, I'm tired now. You know, I mean, it's what I suppose what's happened with self-improvement and all that, but I'm always tired, and I'm tired of being tired, you know. So it's like being like, you know, me tired, and your eyes are just tired and all that. I'm just like that all the time. Sucks, you know. So it's hard to get stuff done now than what it used to be. But I suppose this is all my fault, you know. But it's like times I wish it wasn't. So it's kind of like I'm not to blame. So I can just ease some tension off myself or whatever. But you know, it's just, yeah. And then obviously that makes me think, like, you know, you reap what you sow. I've said this before in past episodes, but it's like, if I'm basically nowhere kind of after 2 years, it just feels like how crap I must have been. But then I look back and think how much energy I put into stuff. I may have not tried my best all the time, maybe a bad thing, but definitely did try, you know. And if that's not enough, then damn, you know, I've got to do better. But then I don't have the energy to do better, you know. I just don't have the energy to do better. I slack, like I say, you know. Like today, I got out of bed at 20 to 12. I used to be out of bed as late as 7:30, but you know, I ain't as disciplined as I am anymore. But yeah, all that, you know, comes from that little story I said at the start of about thinking what I'll be doing 1 year after 2023, you know, 2024, but 2025 I'm still the same, really. I mean, yeah, I've got a bit more muscle on me, you know. I suppose I know more things from my books, but apart from that, I've got nothing to show for what I've done. all this writing I've done, all this effort I put into writing and all that and other stuff, they've got nothing to show for it. And I know I can't focus on externals and money and all that, but it's just like I can't just go on in life not making money. It sucks. I mean, I've applied for this self-employment thing. I got a call the other day, and hopefully it goes well. But it says I didn't really prepare for it, which is kind of a bad thing. I'm not the best at calls. It's just kind of awkward, But yeah, I remember, because what's your business plan then? What's your plan for these ebooks? I remember I'm like, just well, like I was like, oh yeah, I started kind of like this, but I was like, just increase my audience and keep writing and get more books sold. And I'm like, what type of plan's that? So I'm probably going to make a good plan for my ebooks, which I'll have to do at some point. But knowing me, probably not. Or it'll take a long time to do all that, as like just I'm slow to do things now. I'm slow to act. I'm not as quick as I am. I'm not as sharp as I used to be. I'm very blunt. Life has just beat me up and slowed me down, I suppose. Not stopped me, but it has definitely slowed me down. So yeah. This is, like I said, it's probably ain't going to be one of my best episodes. I don't know. It doesn't sound like best episodes, but I do say in my bio, 1 episode per week. So that's what I'm going to do. What I'm doing. I've got to upload an episode this week, even if it's at the very end, and also it makes it easier for next week, and then hopefully it'll be a better episode than this. It'll be properly planned, but I just thought I'd just speak to you, just tell you some of the stuff that's happened in my life and all that, and yeah, I just thought I'd speak to you, just one-on-one. So but yeah, it just feels kind of empty. It feels like I've got worse somehow, like when I first started self-improvement, I had more friends, I'd socialise more, I'd go out more, I was more energetic, I had more passion, more motivation. Probably was more discipline, but well, maybe not at the start, but at some point, yeah. But now I've pretty much lost all my friends. I've got 2 friends, and it's nice. I do love them both, but as friends, but we don't speak that much because they're both busy, which I respect. Keep going, keep grinding. It's both at the job, so they're both doing well. And if you both watch this, wish you well in your job and all that, and keep going. I'm proud of you. But yeah, so I don't want to speak to them. Like, I'll show you a picture. I'm not gonna. I'll blur the names out, but I've got like 3 or 4 friends on Snapchat completely. Like that's it. Yeah, I don't go out anymore. To be honest, it's my fault. I go on walks and stuff, but I don't really meet people or anything. It's just chasing my goals and chasing my dreams and grinding and trying to catch up for past self, being lazy at times and all that, and it's tiring. It's yeah, it's like I've been chasing my dreams around, and then as if they've ran into a woods or whatever, they've disappeared, and now I'm stood there still, and I realise everything I've lost, like less friends, less socialising, kind of less fun in my life. It's just wake up. I struggle to wake up because I'm tired and all that, and slowly get things done, and then just get to bed. I mean, now for the past 5-6 days, like a week, everything I've my checklist, I haven't been able to get everything done. Like there's just always something I missed out on, like reading and all, and like other stuff, like some exercise and all that. It's just I never expected this, self-improvement. I never expected to get worse. I thought it's always improving, but I guess not. I mean, hopefully, I hope to get back up to that charm one day. But I've been trying for over a year. Like this time last year is when it all went downhill. But it sucks, Just you never expect this. It feels like I've made my life worse instead of making it better. It feels like I've put myself in a worse situation instead of putting myself in a better situation. I feel like I should be making more money than what I am, but I'm not barely making any money. So I appreciate the money I make, but it's like I don't make any. I have all this. I've done all this work, but I have nothing to show for it. Internally, maybe, but externally, I don't. I've got nothing to show for it. It feels like I may as well have just been sat there doing nothing, playing Xbox all day. But I quit that, and I feel like I'm just in the same place, anyways. Like one step forward, two steps back, kind of thing. I do remember though. That what was it? I saw this video about Eamon Gadzi. I just watch his TikToks now. If I'm scrolling through TikTok or whatever, I don't watch his long form videos anymore. But he says something about you're in the right place if you don't know, if it feels like you don't know what you're doing, if it feels like you're going nowhere. Like, well, that's been happening for ages, but nothing's happened. He says, I remember him saying another thing, but after 2 years or whatever, if the thing ain't working, then yeah, maybe I've failed or whatever. But it would be like saying, don't give up, just keep going, because you never know how close you are to making it. And it's like, yeah, if you've been doing it for over like 2 years, then maybe, yeah, rethink. But it's like, I'm like, damn, I've been doing it for over 2 years and nothing's happened. I just wish I'd finally get my break. And maybe this self-employment thing I was talking about earlier, maybe that is that, but then I don't think I'll get it. Overall, I did not plan my life to go this way. I did not. Life just hasn't gone the way I thought it would go. It's not gone the way I expected it. It's not gone the way I wanted it to go. It feels like it's kind of got out of my hands, or I've just kind of given up in a way. It's like just everything just gets thrown at me all the time, and yeah, I can kind of say I'm unstoppable because everything that's been thrown at me, I'm still going, I'm still trying, but it's like definitely slow down. Like I said earlier, it's like it's one of those things. But yeah, like I want to move to America. That's one of the things I want to do. Probably not forever, and I might only move there for like a few months or like a year just to see what it's like. But I just think America looks so cool, especially compared to the UK where I live now, where it just seems boring, it seems bland, grey. America, not America. The UK is probably one of the worst countries in the world at this moment in time. I'm going to tell you. With everything that happened to it, it's just fallen to pieces. Man, idiots in it. How it's it's grey all year pretty much. The only thing that's stopping it from probably being the worst country in the world is we don't have to worry about volcanoes, earthquakes, tornadoes, and school shootings. But apart from that, I just kind of hate the place. Yeah, there's some very nice places in the UK, but still, I'd love to go to America and see what that's like. I would. Generally would. And I will do them one day, hopefully. Whether I succeed or not, I think I'll go and visit America. Well, no, I will go and visit America to see what it's like. But yeah, I crave to move. We're all going to be moving house soon anyways, hopefully. Within the next year, which is going to be nice. Get away from this place where I live at the moment, because yeah, it was nice when I first moved, but now there's all houses being built and everything. It's just like, we need to get moving. But yeah, it's yeah, life did not. I did not plan life to go this way. It's kind of lost at the moment. Kind of lost. That's is what it is. It is what it is. Like I'm broke and I'm nearly 20. I'm 20 in a month. 7th of July is my birthday. It's 7th of June today, I'm pretty sure. No, 8th of June today. And I'm still broke. Got a license, but I don't drive anywhere because I can't afford to. Well, my car's broken. Tried fixing it, but couldn't do all that. And then I can't really afford a new car. Well, I could possibly. Well, no, I can't. So yeah, that's that. But yeah, I'm 20 nearly. It's just, and family, ask you, got a job yet? What do you think? Job ain't for me, but I don't know. Lost. Life did not go the way I expected it to go. Whether this is part of God's plan or not, I have no clue. you know, weren't a part of my plan for sure. I'll tell you that now. But yeah, that's episode 21. Just a rant kind of thing, just a bit of a chat. I have suck. I know I don't seem as enthusiastic as I do normally, but it's just, yeah, what's happened recently, you know. But yeah, hopefully the next episode is much better, you know. But yeah, obviously I'll give you a book recommendation. Well, now I don't think I can give you a book recommendation. There's no to recommend. So I'll just give you a bit of wisdom, which is I'll just give you a bit of motivation. Actually, just keep going. You know, just keep going. I suppose I have to say that to myself. Just keep going. You know, and tread carefully, I suppose. But yeah, I don't know. I like my podcast. I do my podcast. You know, I've got nearly 1,000 subscribers, which I appreciate. You know, and I thank you all for that. But I mean, it's all through promoting it, anyways. Not natural. So you'll see what I mean. You'll see how some videos get like over 1,000 views and others get like 10 views. You know. But yeah, that's my bit of wisdom to you and to me. Just keep going. I suppose, you know, you know, the world won't keep attacking the unstoppable thing, you know. So yeah, just keep going, I guess, for everything. And eventually you'll get there. If you do feel lost like me, and well, I wish you luck. And I hope you find that what you are doing is working for you, or I hope you find the thing that you want to do. So yeah.